So here we go, the Stadia Founders Edition. So let me give you my first impressions here. So when I'm holding this in my hand, it's pretty much a standard controller, and it feels very good in the hand. So let's take a look at it. It is a night blue or dark blue. I don't know exactly what color they call it. I could probably look it up. If I do look it up, I'll put it at the bottom of the screen here. But it's a dark blue, and then you have this orange, or I don't know if it's maybe pinkish orange highlight to it right there. And that's on the analog sticks. So you have the setup that you would have on a DualShock 4 in terms of the inline analog sticks here. They feel good. They click as you would expect. You have your D-pad over here. It's clicky. You have your Stadia button down here. You have your A, B, X, and Y buttons here. That is the layout that you would find on an Xbox controller, and that actually owes its lineage directly to the Dreamcast controller. Then you have a button over here, a 3-dot button over here. You have a hamburger button over here. You have I forget if that's a share button right there. And then you have I don't know, it looks like a box there, all corners of the box. So on the back here, you just have what you would expect. You have the triggers here, and you have the bumpers here. Up top here, you have a USB Type-C connector, and on the back, it is a textured plastic, if you can see it here. There are little dots on there, very, very, very tiny dots. You can probably see it there. Maybe you can make that out. You have some text here, which I can't read here, basically just giving you the model and FCC information. Probably a reset button in here, and then you have a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. You have a different type of plastic from the bottom. It's more of a textured plastic here, and that sort of has the dots on it, the very tiny dots. On the face of the controller, it's more smooth. I wouldn't call it a rubberized texture on here, but it is a matte texture. So it's a matte blue plastic up top. You have the glossy plastic on the analog sticks, and on the back you do have that more textured blue plastic. Everything is blue except for the triggers, the buttons, and of course the analog sticks. So, not sure what all these buttons do. I'm sure one of them turns the controller on. Now, the interesting thing about this controller is that it's supposed to communicate directly with the Stadia servers, and that's the benefit of actually getting the controller. But going down the line, you will be able to use any controller, sort of a bring your own controller, as long as you can connect it to a device that is connected to Stadia. So in theory, this will be able to connect to the Stadia servers, and you're going to be able to view it on any device, on your cell phone, on your TV, on your computer, anything with a screen on it. This is going to communicate with those servers, and you will be able to view it on your screen. I believe right now the only way Stadia works at launch is with the Chromecast Ultra, which is included in here. But as time goes on, it's going to be, this controller is your portal to Stadia, the Stadia servers. And if you want to use anything other than this controller, then you would have to have a device that connects in. So we'll see how things go. There's been a lot of things said about Stadia, and I've kind of kept myself out of it, and I'm going to just judge it myself. So the box, as you saw, pretty plain packaging, has Stadia in a kind of silvery, I wouldn't call it foil, but there's a silver logo on it. As well as the Google logo and Founders Edition on either side here. in the bottom of the box here, let's pull out this piece here. And this is made out of paper here. So we have a USB Type-C connector to USB. And this is the wall wart. And that is how you are going to charge your controller. Let's see what else is in here. This packaging is always interesting. So we have an envelope of sorts inside of this. Can put that to the side. I don't see anything there. Let's see what's in here. Probably some sort of welcome message. Again, this is the Founders Edition. So I don't know what the regular edition will come out with when that does launch. Of course, on the inside of the envelope, you have that orange fading to purple. Stadia branding here, white on white, and the Stadia branding on this side as well. So as we dig further into this box here, we see the Chromecast Ultra. Now this is going to have its own power connector as well. Of course, this you charge, and this should always remain plugged in. So here is the, oh, this is interesting, how this works. So you have the plug, but the plug also has the Ethernet jack in it. So that's very interesting. Now, from what I understand, you need to use an Ethernet cord to plug this into your router at this time, and hopefully as time moves on, Stadia will be, you can use it wireless. You probably can use it wireless now, but the performance probably is going to be better when it's plugged in. So you have a micro USB connector here to plug into the Chromecast Ultra. And then, of course, this is just a regular US plug here. But I've never actually seen a plug that had an Ethernet jack in it, so that's very interesting. The plug itself seems probably to have matte black plastic here on the sides and a glossy plastic here. There is plastic on glossy plastic traditionally, and I don't see any difference here. So generally, I just leave that plastic on because I always turn around and sell everything at some point. So the Chromecast Ultra itself is nothing new here. So you have the disc itself, and this also has some plastic on it. Oh wow, look at that. Glossy, 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 glossy plastic with the Google logo on it, or the G logo there, in a matte plastic. Then you have this flat cord here. Hopefully that's in focus there. This flat cord with a rubbery texture to it, and of course the HDMI on the other end of it. On the back of the Chromecast Ultra is a magnet, so that's how this kind of folds up nicely. And of course right here is part of that magnetized feature. So up top here you have, or on the side, however you want to orient it, maybe even the bottom if that's the G, you have the micro USB port, which you plug this into. Now interestingly, if you look at the HDMI, it's red on the inside, and on here, this is red as well. So that is going to plug into here. And then this plugs into the HDMI, and then of course the Ethernet plugs in here. And then I should be good to go to launch Stadia. All right, so the documentation says, the promise of creating one place for all the ways we play is a long-held dream. Today we're proud to see that dream becoming a reality. A community of players is the core of Stadia. Thank you for being the first to gather around. The Stadia team. Of course, you have the Stadia logo up here and the Google logo down there. So we have the getting started about the Stadia controller. And I'll take a look at that. So plug the Chromecast Ultra in. Of course, turn your TV to the correct input. Then get the Google Home app. So this would be done on the cell phone. Get the Stadia app, turn on the controller, set up the Wi-Fi, and how the Stadia controller works. This is what I want to know. Wi-Fi connects the controller to Stadia. Your controller uses Wi-Fi to communicate with Stadia in the cloud. Look for the controller icon at the top of the Stadia app to set up Wi-Fi on your controller. Pick where to play. Link your controller wirelessly with a TV or other screen by entering the code shown there. See this URL to see what screens are supported. Using your controller, on and off. So you hold the Stadia button to turn the controller on and off, and on it will vibrate, and you hold it to turn it off and it will vibrate as well. There's a status light on that Stadia button. So it'll blink orange. If it needs Wi-Fi, it'll blink white. If you're ready to link with a screen, solid white, linked with a screen, solid orange, charging, blinking white and orange, updating or restarting. Capture screenshots and clips, which is the number 3 button. So that would be this one right here. That's to capture a screenshot. This is the Google Assistant. I should know that, but it's been a long time since I've seen something that had that on there. So this is not a reset button. It's a microphone. So I'm glad I did not stick a pin in there to reset it. Not that I would have done that, but that's a microphone back there. So apparently this lights up. You get some Stadia stickers with it, and then some documentation that I will never read. So I guess we're going to start this up, and we're going to need the Stadia app on my phone. And typically you want to charge the device up. So I don't know, let's see if it starts up. Okay, it vibrated, so it has the haptic feedback. And you can see okay, it shut off. So maybe, I don't know if it was looking for something or it just doesn't have enough juice on it. There we go. You can see the light. So maybe it's looking for the Wi-Fi now. We'll see if it shuts itself off. I don't know. Maybe I'll just, I won't charge it yet, but the good thing about this is that I can actually charge it while using it. I don't have to charge it up prior to use. So I guess the next step in this is to get this set up, but that's going to be in my next video. So that's going to do it for this one. If you have any questions or comments, please post them down below. If you like what you see, please subscribe. And as always, if you want to help out this channel, you can give me a thumbs up. You can share this video on your favorite social media, or you could actually join my Patreon, all of which is greatly appreciated. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.